friends, come on in, take your shoes off, have a seat, and consider staying a while by clicking that subscribe button. All right. So I debated on making this video because I think that it can make me be seen in a light that I'm like a feminist, or I'm like a feminist sympathizer, or like I have issues with men, or just trying to make a problem that's not there. And I just hope that if you are male or if you have a different opinion, you will just hear me out. And then you can kindly leave your opinion in the comment section down below. Backtrack before even talking about my husband. I have an amazing relationship with my dad. He is my best friend. Him and my mom have been married for, I think, 35 years now, if I'm not mistaken. And he was very masculine growing up. He was very, like, just leader of the house. He's a Christian. He led us by God's word. And he was a perfect example of what a Christian father should look like. I shouldn't say perfect because I'm sure he made mistakes, but in my eyes, I think he's perfect. And then obviously I'm married and we are Christian. So I do look at a marriage as my husband is head of house. The Bible talks about how he is, to make the decisions in the house. And typically in the Bible, a woman is a homemaker. It is the 21st century and a lot of people can't afford to have both parents not be working. So even though I think that the role has switched as far as like the man isn't the provider so much anymore, that both parents are, I do think it's important because it is biblical and because that's the way God designed a marriage and a man and woman to interact, that the man is the head of the household. So a lot of the times we do make decisions together, but ultimately if there's a big decision to be made, I leave it up to my husband because that is his role, that is his God-given role. And I respect that, and I trust him wholeheartedly to put my and my family's best interest at the foremost of whatever decision he is making. I will agree with that physically a man is stronger than a woman. It's scientifically proven. They're built bigger. They're built to be the protector. And most of the time, because I know there's women in history that have lifted more, ran faster, whatever. But when it comes down to it, scientifically and the way that we are made, men are stronger physically. However, I don't think that that means that a woman is weak. I don't think that that means that makes a woman less than a man. I think that when God says that a man is to love his wife as Christ loved the church, Christ has done everything for the church. He sent his only son to die for the church. So that tells me that in some way, through love, we're on an equal playing field, or at least on an understanding that we both have different strengths that when come together, we are whole and strong. And it doesn't mean that a woman is weak. I think some of the strongest people in the Bible and in history were women. And I think that we bring our own strengths to the table. And just like we can't do everything that men can do, men can't do everything that we can do, and we are stronger in different ways than when men are weak. So let's get into why I'm making this video. So I follow a channel called The Prepared Homestead. A man named Travis runs that channel, and he puts out a lot of good information. He says he's a Christian. Some of the things he says, sometimes I am kind of like, at least the Christian men in my life would never say that about a woman or about certain situations. But who am I to judge? Like, we all have a different relationship with Christ and we all have our own convictions. And like, I'm not going to be, the one to say he's like sinning or wrong or whatever. But I will say that there's been certain things he said in the past, especially about women or especially about prepping and Christianity, that I don't agree with. And I kind of was like, everyone else in the comments is agreeing with it. So I guess maybe I'm just overreacting. But he put out a video today about how our military has become very, very weak. I completely agree with him. I think that we are making our troops weak. Like, I remember hearing stories from my grandpa who served in Vietnam and how he said like they would wake him up at 2 o'clock in the morning just to make him like tie and untie their shoes or make their bed for no reason or go run a mile or just yell at them and call them every name in the book, and how they did all these hard drills and stuff. And now, like, if you did that in our military, they would get sued. And I do agree with that. They're just making them weak and making them like and Travis said this too, an all-inclusive thing that's not going to help them in combat, and that could potentially get most of them harmed because other armies are making their boys very masculine and very like just tough. Being a soon-to-be mom of a son, I totally get this. Like, you want your boy to be tough and strong and a good leader. But I don't think it's bad for them to have a soft side. I don't know, my computer just went off. I think I got an email. I don't think it's bad for boys to have a soft side. No, I'm not saying that they need to be all soft and they need to do away. I'm just saying I think it's okay if a man wants to cry. I think it's okay I think there's a certain time and place to be soft, and I think there's a certain time and place to be masculine and strong. My problem in this video is when he gets to talking about how this has started to become an issue, and he uses the word that our military has become very feminized.
Most importantly, very feminized and very soft and very basically weak, and certainly nothing to do with strength, integrity, discipline, masculinity, anything like that.
I don't disagree at all what he's saying. I completely get what he's saying. I get what point he's trying to make. But I will say, as a woman and as someone who's prepping and who got my husband into prepping, and knowing very strong women preppers, even on this platform on YouTube, I will say it is very offensive to be called weak because I am feminine. This is the part where I said I am nervous about, because I think I will get a lot of disagreeing comments or like just being called a feminist. But I'm gonna say it because, like I said, I am friends with, on Facebook groups and on here, a lot of females who are either solo or single moms, or just, like I said, their husbands don't agree with it, so they're the strong one prepping and preparing and all that kind of stuff. I think it's important to emphasize and know that you are strong. And even though there's certain parts of the world and certain ages of men and certain areas like law enforcement, which I can attest to being sexist sometimes, and military, even though they're gonna look down on you and say certain things like this, it doesn't mean that you're weak. And in fact, it takes great strength to prep and to be in shape and to lead your household from behind the scenes. For the most part, female soldiers don't get special treatment in the Army. I know they have like, I'm almost positive, because at least I know my friend is in the National Guard, and she said her requirements are the same as men's. Now I don't know if that's the same in every branch. All I know is that females are away from their families. They go to these camps, they're working alongside men, they're doing the same exercises, they're doing drills, and they have gone overseas and have died for men like Travis to have the right to give his opinion and say females are weak. I know he's saying that as a bold statement, and I wholeheartedly hope that that is not what he meant by saying that. I'm hoping he was just like not thinking about his words and actions. But what I do want to say is that I've heard several male preppers say that, and I know that there's no, like, I keep saying this, but I know there's gonna be people on here that are gonna be like, oh, she's just being a feminist. But that being said, I've talked to a lot of you on here who are single, like I said, single moms, single in general, or just like solo prepping because your partner doesn't believe in it. I feel like I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but talking with you, I've talked to several women who are like, I quit prepping because I just felt inadequate, and I just heard that, you know, I basically can't do this on my own. And so my hopes in making this video is just to make people more aware of that verbiage, because I feel like that's something that kind of needs to be changed in our society, and use like, they're making our military soft, they're making our military weak, they're making our military, they're coddling them. Like, use those types of words, but don't say feminine, because that translates being feminine is being weak. If you are prepping on your own for whatever reason, know that you are strong and you can do this, and there's no reason why you don't have a place in this community. There's no reason why you shouldn't prep, and just know, like, there's channels out there like mine, and there's other channels, and I'm sure Travis, like I said, I'm sure he didn't mean it like that, and I hope he didn't mean it like that, because he does have a daughter. Like, I would hope he would never tell his daughter, oh, you're feminine, so you're weak. Just know that there's information out there to help you, and it's okay to be a woman. That takes a lot of strength, more than men will ever understand, to be a woman sometimes. And I just want you to know, like, you're not alone, and you have a place in this community. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, that means I actually had the guts to post it, so just be nice in the comment section down below. Again, I hope I got my point across that I don't disagree with what he's saying. I just wish he would have used different words. But I want to hear your opinion, so leave it in a comment down below. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It's free, it only takes a second, and it really helps my channel out. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!